You know what? Because this all correlates.
Yeah.
Let's just go into it, right?
All right.
This is the road let's take in, and today, we're gonna talk about men's mental health in regards to change and the change in societal change, rather. We've touched on this on certain aspects in the first two episodes.
Mm-hmm.
However, in regards to what we're talking about, a lot of men our age, right,
Mm-hmm.
are going through revolutionary changes that most people can't really, you know what I'm saying, cope with, like boomers and stuff like that, Gen Xers. A lot of them, they've had their own revolutions, but this one is in the sense of there's no privacy anymore.
That bothers me so much.
Right? We're not in the time where privacy is something that is
That's the real commodity.
Right. It's a real commodity right now. Family is a commodity right now because it's not easy to secure a family in this day and age, despite how connected we are. Right. There's so many options for the human being that everybody is like, it's like having all the options in a store and don't choose nothing.
I mean, that's what happens when people hop on Netflix. You're just overwhelmed by selections. Like, let me just turn this shit off.
You know what I'm saying? And that's essentially what's happened to us with our food, with our entertainment, with our health care, with our relationships, with our faith. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The digital age has connected us to a point where everything is interchangeable now. It's gotten to the point where why, we're so connected to the point loyalty isn't even a thing anymore, right?
Yeah.
Because now that there's a supply and demand, like, why do I need to stay loyal to you when there's 8 billion other people that I can fuck with on the same level? Nobody has a sense of loyalty. There's no need for shame because now the very thing that you get shamed for, you can make at least 5 to 6 figures on that same shame.
It's interesting that you bring up that point because I always identified as a pretty shameless asshole, but I even have my limits. And the level of shamelessness I'm seeing out there is just like, I wouldn't engage in that that degree, to that depth, I should say.
It's some pretty shameless stuff, and it's not just online.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just online is a very easy way to jab at it. Like, there are
because it's out there. There's so much other shit that we don't even see or hear about.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many things that we encounter that we have to adjust as men. You know what I'm saying? And because the very nature of what a man is different, because AI is being more involved in things, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the writer strike, well, a part of it's not the whole thing, but a part of the writer strike that's going on now is because these studios want to incorporate AI to write scripts. You know what I'm saying?
It's like these script writers, they take way too long to produce. Like we're trying to turn a profit now.
You know what I'm saying? But like, think of it's not just gonna stop there. Like, they already got automated construction vehicles.
Yep.
They already have automated warships in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm jobs that men have done for millennia.
It's like peace
to build empires, to establish, but not just to build empires, but to establish their own way of life, right?
Mm-hmm.
To make them more desirable because they have a job, they have a purpose, they have providing skills. But you take away a man's ability to express himself through art. You take away a man's ability to create. You know what I'm saying? You take a man's means to do war. You know what I mean? Like, a man can't provide, a man can't protect, a man can't, you know what I'm saying?
You're literally going to drive them to the brink.
Yeah, I'm just saying, this is the things that are happening right now. Men are being pushed out of the market through technology.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody saying, "Oh, they're gonna always need a man." They not always. If y'all not watching these cybernetic YouTubes, man, they got robots that can do parkour. You know what I'm saying? They play tag with each other and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So my thing is that when is it? It's a matter of time before they know how to fix a pipe. It's a matter of time before these robots gonna be able to fix a circuit board in someone's house.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a matter of time before you see a robot roofing a house, right? Because like everybody keeps saying these hard manual labor that these trade jobs. Because hell, I'm going pursuing trade. That's what technology is going to go after next. After the artsy stuff.
Yep.
Because they already in health. They're already in medicine.
Yep.
They already in the legal system.
Living situations too, like they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in retail, like Amazon, Walmart, Target, and them. They use AI for their for their applications.
Hiring,
You know what I'm saying? So it's only a matter of time before AI climbs the chain, the work chain, right? You know, because like they're gonna get machines. How is it a far cry to say a machine won't be stocking shelves? Like we already got self-checkouts.
Yeah.
And then we already about to get self-driving cars. And Elon Musk already put out for the electric SUV. So as soon as they go full electrical, there goes truck drivers.
The only thing is that there's certain intuition or experience that comes with being a human that AI hasn't.
Right, but like you're talking about, okay, now all you need is an operator and one specialist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because the thing is that as long as you have one good worker to operate multiple machines, it's only a simple code. You know what I'm saying?
So my follow-up is, how long before the AI that's being implemented goes after the people that have legislated the laws and governed and whatnot? Like, do you think that will also happen, or will they finally realize?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't see, like, I think I told you this I think I said this not too long ago, Web3, right?
Yeah.
I don't think Web3 cannot be incorporated with sovereign nations. Web3 is meant for a unified government.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because of the way it tracks, because of the way how open network it is. Like everybody can see the data, right? Because of the blockchain, and that's not something a sovereign nation would necessarily want. So I don't see that happening as long as there's sovereign nations that exist. What do you think?
To what end is my question.
Control.
But I don't understand these people that feel the need to micromanage everyone all at once. Like what is it in their existence that they felt the need to be driven to this? It's just like, I want to control mass populace.
Now, we could go that route, but that doesn't solve the plight of the common man's mental health issues.
Well, it's tied into it because it's just like
right.
As a person, it makes you feel a certain way. It's just like, what am I to you? Am I just a person or a resource or a means to an end? Like what?
Where the thing is that even regardless of what that answer would be, right? Does it change our condition?
No.
So would you say that, like, in this, at least for me subjectively, the why doesn't matter? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's more so like what is what matters to me. Like, what are they doing to us? You know what I'm saying?
I think that's what I'm trying to get to instead of why. Because
if we can identify what they're doing to us, we can figure out how to circumvent it, right?
Right.
Because a lot of us men who suffer through mental health, the biggest thing is that a lot of men cannot identify what exactly is ailing them. A lot of people just say they're depressed, but depression is so general, right?
Yeah.
You know, they don't know if they're suffering from anxiety or they're bipolar or they're suffering from psychosis or schizophrenia. Men suffer in silence and in ignorance. Emphasis on the ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Because
And it's not like as a ignorance as a pejorative. It's just like a lack of awareness because there might not be a resource to let them know, like to lead them. It's just like or give them pointers.
Right, and even if the resources is there, right? For example, me, I've been in the VA. I've been looking for a therapist for like 13 years. Still ain't got one. You know, they put you they put you in for something. You wait 30 days, it expires, you do it again, and it does it all over again. And then even if you finally get a therapist and y'all don't link, you got to go through that process again. So it's an on and off, and they don't give you the reign because like they the ones who keep recommending it for you. And then even if you qualify to go outside of the VA, they still hand pick them for you from a list of therapists that are qualified outside of the VA to treat a veteran. So it's even with the resources there, it's like it's a circus, man.
That's such a smack in the face. It's just like we know what's best for you.
Veterans, the 2 veterans commit suicide a day, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's wild how they don't really do anything for you. And then, you know, we have to transition into society as normal people in a society forever changing, right?
Yeah.
And we on these boats and wherever the fuck we at, cut away from really how society develops in America, and it's so freaking fast. You know what I'm saying? Like,
actually, before you keep on, when you were out at sea, I know you had like your communications and all that shit, but like, did you keep up with what was going on in the world around you, or were you just like so entrenched in what you had to do in your tasks, etc., that it just wasn't on your radar?
The latter. It was because you working like 12 hours, and that's not counting watch. That's not counting anything that like a general quarters or any kind of emergency that might pop off. There's so many things that you got to be prepared for out to sea that, but at the same time, they do be having the TVs on. They send you like, and like back then, the internet wasn't nearly as internet is now, bro.
Right.
Like,
they say it's like, yeah, you got internet capabilities, but is it going to be quality wise?
there was internet and then there's internet. Like, the internet now is definitely way better than the internet in 2010. You know, 2011. Like, it was pretty shitty. So we was still getting our what was I about to say? We were getting our news from like pre-recorded shit. So we would just kind of see it like that. But nah, man, I wasn't really, it was like, and for me, it was more pop culture shit that we missed out on. Like current events, we were kind of living the current events.
So you wanted a break from that shit?
Like, no, we were in it.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't like we didn't know. I was in it. Like, Haiti was in the earthquake. I was there. You know what I'm saying? It was the other, you know, like other stuff. I almost said something I don't know if I can say on.
Okay,
yeah. You know, I've been on some other missions. You know what I'm saying? So that have been current event. So my thing is that we didn't have much on what was going on in America, but like the news, like sports, everybody was watching sports. So yeah, we was good on sports. Like pop culture, not so much. I guess it depends on your command, I guess.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Because our command wasn't really heavy on pop culture type shit for some reason. Yeah, bro, it was not too much good. Cause like every time I came back, it felt like I was gone for years. America moved like this compared to the rest of the world. Everybody talking about New York fast, LA fast, bro. Wyoming compared to most of the world is moving.
Wyoming,
bro. I'm telling you, man. Like America moves fast. Like as far as just like the Western nations, they pretty pacey too, but like they don't beat America, bro.
Did you notice that fastness like as a part of your being when you went to other parts of the world, and it's just like, wait, why am I exhibiting these traits where instead of just like acclimating?
I knew I was a bigot when I left. Like, because when you raised in a nation built literally on color.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you start speaking in that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's your norm. Like, oh, white people do this, Mexicans do that, black people do this, Chinese people do that, etc. Right? That becomes something that is ingrained in American culture, so it kind of gets ingrained in you without you kind of realizing it until you realize until you come around people who don't speak and identify based on color and race and ethnicities, right? Because a lot of the other parts of the world, they'll go off of tribes and culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, they go off of your last name and your bloodline. They don't go off of your skin color. You know, so I found my worldview to be a bit small the more I traveled. I found myself to be a bit impatient. You know, I wouldn't say entitled. I don't feel entitled. I'm not an entitled person.
Right.
Not even here. You know, because I know some seriously entitled people. You know, but I can say that I am privileged, but I'm not entitled, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Now, it doesn't take away from what my people go through. It's just if I had to compare and contrast, you know what I'm saying? You know, I got to give my ancestors some dap. You know, they worked hard for the benefits that we fight for today. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just all I can say is what I lived through is a culmination of what my ancestors fought for. And then, but at the same time, when I leave the country, bro, like that, like, cause it's like I get why a lot of people from other countries say that you know, like black people, they are so privileged and this and this and that because we eating, but like they don't understand that how hard my ancestors fought for us to even have this position. Right. You don't even, but and then they act like this has always been the thing. You go back 50 years.
Totally different story.
Totally different story. You know what I'm saying? You go back 100 years. Another different story.
Prepare yourself.
That was good. He said, prepare yourself. But nah, no bullshit. And I ain't trying to make this a thing. It's just, you know, despite all these atrocities that my people have overcome and suffered and endured, man, I wouldn't trade it with anybody else in the world comparably. Now, I can't say that about Europe because I ain't been to Europe yet. They say Europe is pretty cool. But I ain't never had an interest to go to Europe, bro. I ain't never saw it. Like, nah, you know, I take that back. My middle school teacher hyped up Europe for me, bro.
Really?
Yeah, man.
What part?
All of it, low key.
Oh, okay.
Cause his name was Mr. Buck. He passed away some time ago. He was a teacher at Elliott Middle School, and he was the bomb, bro. Like every one of his classes were packed. Like I had to request his class the year before his class.
Damn.
And that was the first time, like, you know how when you go to college and they full and you become a temp, someone drop.
Yeah.
That was the first time I did that shit.
Okay.
Where I was like that, where I had to, if somebody didn't show up, I got their spot, and that's what happened. I got their spot. And his shit was off the chain.
I'm going to ask my cousin if she ever knew that teacher because she went there for middle school.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Buck was off the chain.
Yeah.
Like, if you went to middle school anytime in, like, the 90s and 2000s, I believe, you know Mr. Buck.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That he was, like, he one of the few teachers I remember by name. Like, now, if I had to go back to elementary, it would go to Miss Clages. But the funny thing is, I went to school with her daughter too, because her daughter was a music teacher.
Okay.
Yeah, her daughter was old as fuck. No, Miss Clages, she was like 80 something when I was going to school with her ass, and then her daughter was going on 50. So it was, you know, when I mean going to school, she was quite a teacher, bro.
Right on.
But yeah, back to the point, like
right.
the countries, man, like it's a different the pace.
So did that experience in that, recognizing all that, did that help you grow as an individual afterward, or?
Absolutely, bro. As a man, it made me realize the level of respect that I deserve.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I also realize a lot of like we take a lot of disrespect as men aggressively and passive aggressively from people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like words have meaning. Words have power.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even if you playing, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't allow people to talk to me any kind of way no more
Right.
because I realize now that that's not how it is everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? I try to be like more like my thing is I try to be less color.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Also, because the thing is that I've always believed not all skin folk is kin folk. You know, we might we might share genetics, but
I've had plenty of experiences that gave me that realization.
right, we might share genetic bonds, but if we don't share a cultural bond, you know, different than a different culture, a different people. You know what I'm saying? Like I only learned that because I went to different countries to experience that myself. You know, you have to respect people's culture. You know what I'm saying?
You're in their house.
And it has nothing to do with your color or your skin.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do to respect the culture, respect the foundations in which that built where you go, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And regardless of what you agree with or don't agree with, if you're not there to make active change, you have to respect it. You know, people are so quick to put their input into people's lives and don't have any aspect of self
Mm-hmm.
to help anything on that person's plate. But you have everything to say on it. And my point on all of this is that going out of the country, coming back, I realize things just the people don't sit down and realize their worth. They don't realize the worth of others. I realize that everything here is pretty dehumanizing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You can kind of slap a price tag on anything out here if you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no laws for infidelity. Like there's no laws for adultery. There's no laws against anything that would normally put security in a man, right?
Mm.
So I realized that, you know, integrity is very important. You know, like, cause like everybody want to talk about a woman's body count, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, right? They be like, oh, if she got more than 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 bodies, she's a whore for life and blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I have no shaking that game.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to bring that up because I feel like a man who's full of shit, a man who don't stick to their word,
Mm.
that shit shows just as much as they feel like that shows. Right? Like I may not know you from Adam, but if you've lied to enough niggas, bro, I think that shows.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like he's not a person of his word. He's not to be trusted.
Right.
Don't fuck with them.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it goes without saying if you do it enough. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm at in America, bro. I'm seeing a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm talking to a lot of men and women who just aren't genuine people,
Mm-hmm.
who aren't good people. And, you know, like at first I thought I was being judgmental.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized that, you know, sometimes your spirit, you know what I'm saying, or whatever you call it, reacts before your mind. You know what I'm saying? Because your mind is rational. Like, it's like, damn, this person ain't never did anything to me. He always, or she's always seemingly cool around me. So why do I not feel, rather than trusting yourself, your inner self, that this person may not be good or compatible for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but when they're around, it disturbs my peace,
Mm-hmm.
right? In some form of way that maybe I can't readily identify. And instead of taking a step back, people double down because of their ego. Like, you know what? I may be crazy. You know, I don't see anything, so nothing's going on.
Mm-hmm.
and then we wind up finding ourselves ensnared. And that's what I see when I come back. I see just a lot of people not following their heart because they don't have time to reflect. Um, it's just, and then you got these technologies, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's changing the game. That's allowing people to control their demographic in a way that I didn't know was possible, right? But in it's at the same time, it's pulling us further away from each other. You know, to the point that we're gonna lose all sight of anything. Like at least with this, right? I can only hold my phone for so long.
Yeah.
Right? I could only sit down in front of my computer so long. Sooner or later, I got to engage me. Right? This technology that's coming up is going to take away that. You don't have to look yourself in the mirror. You can make yourself in your own image in this stuff, right? You know, there's no need to reflect on the things that you need to reflect on to make yourself better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I fear depression is going to go up because it's going to take it, because now people are going to are going to have less and less time for self-reflection. They're going to go to work, they're going to come home, put these things on and lose themselves. You know, and it's already like this, right? If once this headphone come on, it's going to go like speed. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got, if I, you know, it's going to be crazy when this stuff come out. It's going to be a lot of people going out to sea, right?
Yeah.
Coming back, and it's going to be completely different. Like, the most different for me was when Drake and Kendrick Lamar hit the scene. Like, it was Young Money when I left.
Right.
Yeah. Not Young Money. It was Cash Money. It was Cash Money. No. It wasn't Young Money yet.
Oh, okay.
It was Cash Money, Cash Billionaire.
Oh yeah, Cash Money.
You know. Yeah, man. So we need so the best way, in my opinion, in engaging technology is to have integrity. So the best way is to have integrity, because the thing is that we're coming in a time that, yeah, you're not necessarily private, but you're quite alone. Mm-hmm. And the only way that you're going to be able to find yourself centered and grounded is by taking control of your own life, having the integrity to do so, knowing that it's the right thing for you and your personal purpose.
Yeah.
You got to have integrity for your purpose sake, you know? Like, I was just talking to my homeboy. I was like, you know, LA, but like if I was to put it in this scenario, America has this gravitational pull, you know, that keeps people where they at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Wherever track, you know, unless you got money to pull to assert your own will, there's a gravitational pull. And you have to will yourself out of it with your own purpose. Mm-hmm. You have to will your own purpose, or this society will find a purpose for you, or rather push you out of your own purpose and replace you with something more efficient, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why it's important as a man, because mental health is not ever going to be done. It's not ever going to be finished. Right?
Yeah. It's a constant.
I get that, man. So what's up with Latin America, bro? Talk to me. Any news?
I barely have trouble keeping up with the news up here, so I don't, unless you're like inferring something.
I am not actually. Okay. I'm just casually asking. I'm curious as fuck.
I'm not the person to come to when it comes to current events with Latin America, unfortunately.
Okay, well, anything with you personally, mentally?
Well, to touch on the theme of this episode, when computers first came into my life, technology, it was the computer lab at elementary school.
Right.
I gravitated. I took to it like fucking instantly. I was just enamored. I was enthralled by it. And then around the same time, I don't know if it was prior or post to that, but video games. I was a Sega kid. So, but my mom wouldn't allow me to fuck with it throughout the week, only on the weekends, just because of the week was just like I was either busy with school, homework, or just whatever. Like
Okay.
I couldn't fit it into my schedule. It was only like a weekend thing, and then only one TV. So like as soon as like the adults woke up, it's just like gotta put that shit away. So
Right.
it was very much like on a drip. It wasn't
Yeah.
until an adult or when I had like finally enough to get my own rig that like I could really just like game for my fucking brain away.
I get you.
Even though I love technology and like all these cool little gadgets here and there, like I get bored after a bit. Just and that sounds so like it's not lost. It's not lost on me. It's just like it's a privilege to have this shit, but like it could only sustain your interest for so long unless you want to like actually like do some reverse engineering and like go in there and alter it or what have you. But I've been feeling myself getting a little bit distant from it. Like, for example, throughout the week, I'll work. I'm I'm tired by the time I get home from work. So I only have so much time that I'll dedicate to whatever it is that I want to do in the afternoon before I have to pass the fuck out.
Right.
And it's been less video gaming and less computer oriented, and I've been doing some more reading. I want to get carve out. Well, I should dedicate more time to drumming.
Mm.
But I feel more fulfilled when I do something that isn't tech related. If I hop on the bike, to take some time to flatland, because that helps me physically and mentally. It'll help me fucking wear myself out. So like when it comes time to go to sleep, I'm not in my head. Because that was that was a huge problem for me throughout my 20s was falling asleep. As dumb as that's gonna sound.
You as an insomniac?
Yeah, dude. And well, the other thing too is I was working graveyard shifts, so like my schedule was completely fucked.
Makes sense.
And I realized that like, okay, because of like my mind is always running a mile a minute, I have all this energy to burn. I had to fucking physically exert myself in one form or another, so I can like actually get some proper sleep, so I'm not burnt out, because that happened too in my 20s. Like there was a point in my life where I just didn't like, I would just have really bad sleep for like days on end, maybe 3 or 4 hours, and then just it would get to a point where like finally I think like one day I would just sleep like 12 plus hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so you have to find like something to stimulate your mind that will actually, like I've been reading too before going to sleep, because it helps tire me out.
Right.
You got to find these different ways to help like tire yourself out that don't involve technology. Like fucking go out there is going to sound dumb, but literally go out there for a fucking walk. Just go out there and in one direction walk half an hour and then just walk back. Fucking if you don't have that, then I feel for you. I'm sorry.
There's other ways too. You can work out, do some push-ups.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Jailhouse type of fucking calisthenics.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the stuff that we talk about we need to do in the gym, we can do at home.
Yeah.
Push-ups, sit-ups, crunches, some jumping jacks.
Some squats, some lunges.
All that can be done in the comfort of your room, not even a home.
Yeah.
So,
and it's sorry, but like also the thing that that was hindering me too from the progress that I've currently found myself on is discipline. Like I somehow in this whole in my journey I lost touch with my little resource of discipline that I made for myself, because I don't know, I can't remember if it was judo or jiu-jitsu that I took as a kid for a couple of years, and that's where like that first developed.
Word to mother.
Yeah, so it's just like I was in like the worst part in my 20s. I was keep telling myself, like, you got to find your way back to that discipline. I don't know what it is that you have to do in order to tap back into it, but you got to work yourself back there. And yeah, just being more mindful of that helped me stay on top of like making myself accountable, holding myself accountable.
Yeah, it's definitely been it's definitely an important step in on the journey of mental health is accountability, bro. Because we can face everything that we see, but if we don't address the thing that only we can see, you know what I'm saying? We're eroding ourselves, right? That's why integrity is important, because like for me, it's like you may not see, like, because like for me, if I know that I got some things I'm working on, but yet people come at me and tell me, oh, you're this, you're that, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm hard on myself, but it's like, as a, excuse me, as a man, you know what I'm saying? If I don't hold myself accountable, who will? You know?
And that's what I was also yelling at myself in my mind, in my head. It was just like, come on, dude.
You know, so I get you, bro. Like, so, like with drumming, right?
Yeah.
You know, you still do that, right? Like, isn't there like something you can draw from that?
That,
because that's a discipline too.
yeah, and that was a thing. So that's the other thing that I've been battling lately is that in high school, like the dream was I'm gonna be a famous fucking drummer, tour the world, etc., what have you.
Right.
And then the more I figured out, or if I should say found out about how the fucking music business works, like, fuck that. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be driven nuts. I'd literally probably fucking put someone in the hospital for fucking with my money. So I was like, So,
like
the discipline, sorry, it's just like, here it is. It's just like my mind's always running a mile a minute, and I also realize I have to be focused and be able to get my shit down proper. Like for me, the battle was just like fighting that urge to physically act as if I'm running a mile a minute when it comes to either the BMX or the drums or reading. It's just like my mind wants to take over. It's just like, nah, man, you gotta take your time. So for me, it's just always been, you know, taking the time to learn whatever pattern or whatever drum fill, whatever exercise slowly, so that when it comes to playing it at proper tempo, you could make it look like fucking easy.
Right.
So that's been like the latest issue right now with me, is just like taking the time to take it slow. It's just like, because I feel like I put everything on, not on pause, but I just felt like I was on autopilot. So I just felt like I've always had this underlying urge to just like catch up.
Right. Okay. I feel that. You got it's like a phantom tiger mom. Like, you're not doing enough. Like, shit.
Even though those aren't my parents.
Right? Like, I don't
even
know where this
you.
Came.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't even know where this shit came from.
Like, man, can you please stop yelling at me? Like, I'll do it. Just stop. Like, bro, I get it, bro. And
so to bring it back to technology, this shit doesn't help either, because it just is a fucking distraction. When if you're not on your discipline, your fucking idle hands make for devil's playground. Instead of you're back on your phone, you're fucking doom scrolling, you're doing this, you're doing that.
And then, not to mention, this is the loneliest generation.
Yeah.
You know, so now we ain't even tapped into the dating apps.
That's why I haven't. Okay, so it's funny you should mention that. On the drive over here, I was talking to myself, as I normally do on drives.
Right.
I don't think I'm going to be fucking with dating apps, because the other thing about them is just like, I feel that people, and it's no judgment on the people that do use them, but I just get this feeling that sometimes it's difficult to make a connection with these people, because like they're so used to communicating through the phone, where I've made the effort to work on my social skills and be able to just like talk to people like face to face, because I used to have that problem where I'd have problem looking at people in the eye directly.
Right. It's a scam. I don't use them. Like I get invited, like I got homegirls who invite me to these dating groups, to these things, but it's just like, I'm not.
And it was like I was telling you and your homie the other day on Discord, like the thing that I went to one, it was on through Meetup, if anyone fucks with Meetup, and it turned out to be sponsored by Scientology. It was like, fuck this, I'm out.
Like, it's just to the point where I say it's a scam, because because the thing is for one, most of the people who recommend online dating to me have been women, right? And I look at them crazy, because it's like a woman's online dating experience and a man's
vastly
different, first of all. Two, my dating experience is online has been abysmal. I've never had a successful date since online dating has been a thing, bro. Like it's so because it's like it's more it's harder to get a date than it is to find a raid in LFG on Destiny 2, bro. Like I thought it was, bro, and I still ain't got a raid exotic. Like that's the bullshit of that. Like, and it's still easier to deal with that shit than it is. Like, cause like either you dealing with fat bitches, you dealing, and I love fat bitches, but I want some variety. My thing is bots, polygamy.
Fuck that,
Bruh, like it's so the online dating pool for I guess an average Joe like your boy is not the business, bro. And then like they have the audacity to want because like guys have to spend. It's just like the club. Most girls get like months or 3 months free of the premium shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they want the girl pool to be up, so they getting in for free.
Yeah.
But us, like Tinder, right? You go in there, you do like maybe what 10,
a few swipes.
Oh,
you gotta pay to swipe more.
You gotta pay to swipe more, bro. You gotta pay to swipe more, and it's not even guaranteed.
No, thank you.
And it's not even guaranteed. You swiping right on real people.
Yeah,
bro.
They're all deep fakes.
It's so what I'm and then it's already shown like. The statistics already show that online dating hasn't improved relationships. It's actually made relationships worse. You know what I'm saying? Because the rules, like you said, most people, it gotten to the point, like it was a girl that I was talking to, like could not talk outside of her phone. Like literally. Like she would talk, she would be one way in person, but on the phone, texting and shit, she a whole different other person. Because people don't have their, like I would call on Discord, IRL voice. They don't have their real life voice, man. People are speaking through their digital avatars. You know, we're coming into an era where people are more comfortable engaging through that, but still want that. It's an oxymoron. You know, They want a physical connection through digital means. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's weird, and I ain't talking about hooking up. I'm talking about like actual relationships. There ain't no like it doesn't work. These fights are not for relationships. You know, like now there was some back in the day because I know some people who had some successful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you look at the whole, right, in a country of what 380 million people, and like even if you got over, let's say one website has over 40,000 success stories, that's what a fraction of our country, right? Those would be considered outliers. So to say that they work, it's a bit disingenuous. Because think about the amount of people who do use it and don't have successful relationships.
And then let's also, there's the niche dating websites too. So how much of like farmers only and like Christian mingles and like that type of shit where they're trying to target a certain demographic that they feel isn't being catered to on other dating apps. It's just like, okay, creating more outliers. It's just like,
But then it's just like, how do you discern wolves in sheep's clothing?
That's the other thing too. Yeah,
there's people who lie all the time, catfish all the time.
Yeah,
it ain't nothing to Google what it means to be a farmer. It ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they got shit now where you can literally change your entire background and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I know for me personally, meeting up in person is always the right choice. The organic way. I've always had better success just meeting people out and about, just being me, you know, because like online you can be anything, you can ask for anything, you know what I'm saying, and not have none of those things. That's the crazy part. But you can't really hide in person
out in the open,
right?
Yeah.
So as a man, like, you gotta have to have courage, man. And what is courage? You know, doing something in spite of the fear, right? I'm afraid, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, yeah, it's scary to put yourself out there. Yeah, it's scary to be vulnerable, but you're you're subjecting yourself when you do this online dating, this social media stuff, trying to seek out love and stuff. It's the illusion of connection. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the times, if you find yourself not successful, like me, if I was to just stay strictly online, I would be depressed. Like, but me, I took a chance. I was like, like I don't think I'm putting my best foot forward when I'm online, but when I'm out and about, I get better results. When I move around, I get better results.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What works for some people won't work for you necessarily. And online is for specific target markets. You know what I'm saying? Like online dating, social media and all this shit you be hearing about is for prettier people. Like, think about it. Like, you don't see an average nigga with 30,000 likes and shit. You see Ice Spice with 50,000. You know what I'm saying? Right. Ass moving like Jello and shit. That's what gets the likes. You know what I'm saying? That's what gets the likes. She pretty. You know what I'm saying? Pretty, privileged. Like online dating is advantage for those type of people. Everybody. Now there's those people who got the too short game and whatever that is, all that Riz juice they want to talk about. But you could lie to yourself, but numbers don't lie. Niggas is out here dry, right? Like, we can lie to each other all day, but the numbers is telling me that there's a lot of motherfuckers out here not getting play and don't know why. It's because the game has been rigged. You have better chances. Taking a chance on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Than taking a chance with these online engines promising you efficient results.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just because they're at the tip of your palm doesn't bring you any closer to where you're trying to get. Going outside, dude. You know what I'm saying? Taking a chance on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll be surprised, bro, how much just having a little bit of courage will get you in this life. But it's up to you to that's the only way you're going to be able to circumvent technology. Because if you don't take a chance on yourself, you're going to be replaced by something more efficient. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is that they're going to take advantage of your lack of for profit.
Yeah.
You know, you want to swipe right some more? You don't have to take a chance on yourself. You can just pay us $30 a month. Swipe forever.
And we got you.
We got you, bro. Christian single meat. You know what I'm saying? Black people meat. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of fish. You know what I'm saying? Some tags. You know what I'm saying? Send that bitch a jet. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how they get you.
Yeah, man.
This is how, when you don't take a chance on yourself. They will take you for granted. They will take advantage of you. You know what I'm saying? Because you lonely with pockets. Like, women have learned they don't need, like most women now online have learned they don't need to actually be around you to get what they want. Like, if a girl can get money from you without ever seeing you, why would she ever see you?
She wouldn't need to.
Right. And if a company knows you're going to spend money to go dating, why would they set their systems up to hook you up? It's like it's like how we talk about the pharmaceuticals, right?
Yeah.
Why they're not in the business to cure. They're in the business to treat. So why would any of these dating services want to have successful dating when they can when they can have a returning customer looking for love?
That's why you got to go out there, people.
Right, you gotta take a chance.
Put yourself out there,
or you're gonna be stuck in that free to play shit.
Those microtransactions.
Microtransactions, bro. That's all they trying to. That's all it is. That's all it is. The online dating is free to play, microtransactions.
Yeah,
that's all it is, bro. Take a chance on yourself, bro. It's free. Like, the only cost is the high chance of rejection. You know what I'm saying? Cause It's going to take a while because you got to remember everybody is, once you wake up, right? Let's say you decide to take a chance on yourself. You put yourself out there. Not everybody doing that. Everybody was doing what you were just doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you eventually going to run into somebody. It takes a lot of will in yourself to get above it, because that's what this technology is banking on. It's banking on you not taking a chance on yourself. It's banking on you not, doing anything for yourself. Like, you don't want to go outside? Cool. We can make you an outside.
Yeah, right. Just put on this headset.
You know what I'm saying? Just put on this headset. We'll make you an outside.
You want to feel the outside? Put on the suit too.
Put on a suit too, bro. Don't even got to go out there. Just all the natural resources out there. All the real bitches in the world is mine. Mm-hmm. Like, bro, think about that, man. Over 50% of African American men are unmarried. Imagine, you know what I'm saying? That's some shit, right? Imagine those numbers when they completely immerse these niggas. I'm in that number. Mm-hmm. Remind you, I'm the over 50%. You know what I'm saying? So imagine at like, and we already a distracted world. Yeah. We already in a world where no one really necessarily has to date anybody. Like,
that's sad.
Because like a man don't need a woman. Mm-hmm. A man can hire a maid. Mm-hmm. A man can hire a prep meals. Prostitution legalized in more and more states growing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You can get you a surrogate and have kids legally yours, right? Women, right? They make it just as much and more than men now. Mm-hmm. They can pay for their own security. They can pay for their own. They can prep their own meals too. And they have dating apps. They don't need prostitutes. They have dating apps. They can just choose. Yeah. Like, both sides can circumvent. The problem is that both sides have no incentive to be in a relationship at least in the Western world. Mm-hmm. With the way technology is growing, and with this headset, it's gonna be all non-existent. Because with drone technology, like, girls still want men to do certain things, like get things, but all that gonna be replaced. Drones.
Girl, get you a drone. Leave that dusty fool.
But that's why it's like, do you take a chance on yourself, or do you not? Like, this is what
always take a chance on yourself, man.
Or they gonna monetize off
Stop doubting yourself already, please.
Or they will monetize that doubt. They will monetize your uncertainties. They will monetize your loneliness. They will monetize your frustrations. Mm-hmm. They will monetize your anger. Mm-hmm. They'll monetize your insecurities. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only way you gonna break that cycle is that if you take a chance and invest in yourself. Because if you don't, you're going to wind up being somebody else's investment. And it's just not me saying man up and shit, because I know it's hard. I know it's not going to be easy rising above, and I know it seems like it's non-existent, but authenticity still exists. Women still want a man. You just got to be man enough to survive the times. And what I mean by that is admitting that you are having a hard damn time. You know what I'm saying? Like I said from episode 1, we living in different times. There is no OG can tell you that I'm been through some shit like this. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? My dad, God rest his soul, he couldn't tell me he was going through no shit that I'm going through right now. You know what I'm saying? So we, for one, don't be too hard on yourself, knowing that we're going through times that our parents didn't go through. Forget ancestors. Our parents didn't even go through. You know what I'm saying? 2, relationships aren't even the same. You know what I'm saying? Like from when our parents, you know what I'm saying? Relationships, education, because now you can just chat GPT or essays and shit,
Yeah.
medical, legal, all of it. You know what I'm saying? So as a man, you just have to stand firm in the things that you've been brought up on, and move accordingly. Because if you try to keep up with the technology, if you stay within this network, you're gonna be just as shifty. There's already studies showing that people who use 16% of people who use cell phones have shown to have a lower attention span. So our technology is killing our attention span. You know. So imagine with the Vision Pro having this shit on indefinitely, with maximum immersion, where our attention spans are gonna be. Nobody trying to talk to nobody when you can have levels of immersion and gratification. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You think fornication is bad now. you think it's nasty now. Imagine when you can just put yourself literally in it.
Yeah.
Right? Now people are just gonna be completely depraved of any kind of present. They're gonna want instant gratification. Because like it's one thing to constantly see it, and then you just want to it's like psychological versus when it's just completely immersed and it feels like you're just right there. And you're like, girl, I seen that girl do that shit. The fuck wrong with you? Or whatever women think. I don't know. Yeah. But I'm just saying that it's like we think that we exaggerating shit now. You think that's what I'm trying to say, man. We have to take a chance on ourselves, bro. We have to give ourselves a chance to live this life in the now. We have to, and what I mean by that is just getting to know ourselves as a person rather than as a purpose. Because I find that a lot of men now are trying to find their purpose to monetize it, not necessarily to be fulfilled. You know, people want to find their gift so that they can figure out how to make money with that said gift, rather than figuring out why they have this said gift and to what end. You know, so instead of allowing yourself to sell yourself to things that you don't fully understand, invest in yourself. Figure out why it is you have these things that you got going on, and instead of trying to sell it to the highest bidder, try to make something meaningful in your life. Because this is the only life we get to live as men. And we live in a time where things are just going to constantly be monetized. And right now they're trying to monetize on people's loneliness. That's all the Vision Pro shows me. They're trying to monetize on our mental health, on our mental state. Yeah. You know, we're at the most, like, we're at a time where travel is at its all-time lowest. We're at a time where jobs at an all-time low. We're at a time where our relationships are at an all-time low. We're at a time where even our baby making is starting to decline. You know what I'm saying? So how do we distract people who are feeling shit about their surroundings? We create one for them. It looks expensive because it's $4,000, but this is just a prototype. This is just to get it in our face. Yeah. Within the next few years, you watch HTC and shit, and Meta, they gonna have similar shit that's gonna be way cheaper, and it's gonna get because they got this cord with a power pack. They gonna figure out how to make it they gonna figure out how to make it just one comprehensive thing where people gonna be able to walk around with this shit. Watch. They're gonna be walking. It's not gonna look as that crazy either. It's gonna be they probably gonna get it to like the Google Lens. Yeah. They probably gonna figure out how to get it to compact sizes where people can just seamlessly walk around with this shit. You know, you don't have to carry a wallet anymore. You can just walk in like you saw that Amazon where you can scan. Yeah. They gonna do the same shit where you can walk in, push a button, and shop. Like, we have to be prepared for what's coming forward. And what I mean by that, not, get to know the technology. You need to know yourself.
Otherwise, that's just going to fucking eat you up.
You know what I'm saying? Are you paving the way, or are you being led to slaughter? You know what I'm saying? Because that's all this technology going to do is going to lead you to... Because, like all technology going to do to a man without a purpose is push him out of his purpose. And a man without a purpose is dead. At least spiritually, in my opinion. Yeah. you know? So you have to believe in yourself, or because no one's going to do it for you. And I hate to say it like that. That's the burden of a man. A man has to make his own love. Like a man has to make his own love. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't you don't just get love for no reason. Only your mama do that shit.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to the rest of the world, you got to make it. You got to make your own love. You got to make your own values that people respect. So you got to create respect. You got to create all that. You can't just get it.
Yeah.
You have to have a foundation. And this is not me saying like, oh, woe is man, but that is our burden. Like, it's not, I don't care that who loves me or who don't love me. I know what it means to be loved. If I don't have a foundation, who's going to love me? What have I achieved to be loved? What have I done to be loved? Mm-hmm. What have I done to be respected? What have I achieved to be respected? You know, it's as bleak as it sounds, it makes sense. You know, as a man, you have to create these things for yourself, or they're not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is not a knock on anybody who thinks otherwise. This is just how I feel. And mind you, I want to say this while, you know, I am not a mental health expert. I am not a doctor, nor is my companion over here.
Nope.
We are not mental health experts in no regard. We are just giving our opinions on matters that we go through every day. So if you do feel like, hold on. Give me a second, because I'm going to start doing it today, you guys, because I think it's important since we're talking about men's mental health. So my thing is that if you're and if you're feeling like you want to do harm to yourself or others, please call the suicide crisis line 988. Please do so, 988. If you feel like committing harm to others, or if you want to talk to an actual professional, you can contact the suicide prevention, which is you can dial 988 if you reside in the U.S. If you do not reside in the U.S., please look online to find your respective suicide prevention phone number. I just wanted to make that clear. I want you to know too. I think that's important.
Yes.
Since we are dealing with mental health,
yes.
Suicide is a very prevalent thing that happens in the darkest corners of men's mental health. It's not as talked about. I will be talking about that on its own, you know, because I do believe that it is a heavy subject matter.
Yeah.
It's just, I think that if we're going to talk about mental health and we're not professionals, we should provide tools for those who do want to pursue professional help. Mm-hmm. So I'll reiterate once more. If you do feel like hurting yourself or others, please contact the Suicide and Life Prevention, Suicide and
Harm Prevention?
Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Excuse me. The number is 988. You can call them or you can text them. So my thing is that life is precious. You're worth something. Don't make a permanent. Don't commit a permanent solution for a temporary problem.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, back to the technology. I'm gonna end it on this note.
Yeah.
We live in a time now that no generation or civilization has, at least to my knowledge, ever has achieved. And with that have come setbacks and pluses. The pluses being we're more connected than we've ever been. We're more efficient in how we move forward in our innovations. It has turned our quality of life upside down. Common people live like kings of old.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Like, we eating steaks and lobsters and shrimp and just having feasts and shit, buffets, sleeping on memory foam, and got air conditioning. We got heaters and shit, electric scooters. You know what I mean? The shit that shit's this kings, things of kings, bro. Like, think about that. Like, luxuries that kings and queens could only enjoy, we can enjoy. That's the level of technology we riding on right now.
Yeah.
Where things that were considered royal decadence is now a common luxury. That's how far
Things have shifted.
have shifted as far as the paradigm. And whether people want to believe it or not, there are ramifications moving so fast when it comes to innovation, especially when the mind, when it interjects with personal purpose, right? Because human innovation is always cool, but when it steps on your personal purpose, then what? Should you step aside for the greater good? But then again, what if, how many toes does the greater good have to step on to achieve its greater good?
Yeah. That's the real question.
Does it have to step on all the toes?
Survey says yes from what I'm seeing.
Invest in yourself, people. Well, I am one of the co-hosts, Petty Rich, and this is my other co-host, Mo Man. And this has been another episode of The Road Less Taken. We will be back next week. I hope you guys all have a good evening. Thank you guys for sticking around. You guys have a great weekend.
Take care of yourselves.
Peace.